Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global Television, which is coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Amina Jibril. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nigecomsat. President Bola Tinubu has assured the Nigerian armed forces that his administration would never compromise on the welfare of troops, promising that he would continue to provide whatever is needed to ease the job of the troops, as well as commit more resources to improve their welfare. The president spoke at the inauguration of the Bola Tinubu Barracks in Abuja, where he noted that the federal government is committed to providing necessary support for troops to fulfill their mandate. He used the opportunity to urge military leadership to ensure adequate maintenance culture to keep the accommodation. And President Bola Tinubu has joined the government and people of Plateau State in mourning the passing of a former minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Lieutenant General Jeremiah Oseni, retired. Special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ananoga, noted that Tinubu extended condolences to the family, friends, military colleagues, and political associates of the former governor of Old Bendel State, Minister of Transport and Quartermaster General of the Nigerian Army. The elder statesman died on Thursday, January 23, 2025, at the age of 82 following a protracted illness. And the Lagos state government has threatened to arrest and prosecute minors who violate safety operation guidelines and regulations of the state. The special advisor to the governor on mineral resources, Abiola Oluwo, said this during a meeting with the Lagos State Dredgers and Miners Association in Alausa, Ikeja. According to a statement signed by the Deputy Director, Public Affairs Unit of the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, Adetola Idowu, Oluwo reiterated the state's commitment to safe and sustained mineral resources management. And the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, has returned to Nigeria after testifying in a case filed against Nigeria by Sunrise Power at the International Chamber of Commerce Court of Arbitration in Paris, France. Buhari's return was disclosed with a video shared on X by former Special Assistant to the President on Digital Communications, Bashir Ahmed. Buhari was spotted stepping off an aircraft as he returned from Paris. Now, security matters. The Nigerian Air Force has said that its air component of Operation Fansanyama has killed scores of bandits and dismantled their logistics base at Alawa Forest in Shiroro local government area of Niger State. This is contained in a statement by the Director of NAF Public Relations, Air Vice Marshal Olushola Akimbuiwa. According to the statement, the airstrike was a significant achievement in its counter-terrorism campaign, adding that the operation was based on credible intelligence and follow-up confirmatory aerial surveillance efforts, which indicated an influx of armed terrorists into the forest. Meanwhile, a federal high court in Abuja has proscribed the Lakurawa sect and declared it as a terrorist organization. The court also designated other similar groups in any part of Nigeria, especially in the northwest and north-central zones of the country, as terrorist organizations. Justice James Omotosho, in a ruling on the ex-party originating summons filed by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi of the Senior Advocate of Nigeria, declared that an order is hereby made declaring the activities of the Lakura sect and other similar groups in any part of Nigeria, especially in the northwest and north-central regions of Nigeria, as acts of terrorism and illegality. On aviation matters, the Managing Director of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, Fan Olubumi Kuku, has threatened that when she is tired of her role as the boss of the agency, she will throw in the towel. Kuku said this while fielding aviation industry-based questions, stating that she had stepped on toes and would step on more people's toes, although with caution. She also responded to criticisms that have greeted her claim that 580 billion naira is required to fix obsolete runways across the country, appealing to all who care to understand the need for the money to find out what it takes to take care of aviation infrastructures. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Police and National Human Rights Commission were engaged in a heated debate over the legality of jailing minors arrested at protest grounds for felony and treasonable offences. The debate took place at the public presentation of a research report titled Beyond the Protest, an explanatory study of the hashtag End Bad Governance protest in Nigeria, organized by Kimpact Development Initiative in Abuja. In August last year, Nigeria witnessed widespread demonstrations under the hashtag End Bad Governance movement, driven by public dissatisfaction to protest the economic hardships and governance issues ravaging the country. And the Lagos State Technical and Vocational Education Board has reiterated its commitment to providing gender-inclusive technical education to Lagosians. Speaking at the annual management retreat with the theme Technical and Vocational Training, Key to Sustainable Development, the Executive Secretary of the board, Moronke Aziz, noted that it had advanced significantly from a time when technical colleges were dismissed as mere dumb sites for failures. Hence, she urged participants to remain focused and dedicated to achieving the agency's goals. The state government also expressed its resolve to establishing itself as a national leader in providing excellent and equitable technical and vocational training in Nigeria. And the National Association of Resident Doctors in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, has called off its 3-day warning strike after the intervention of Nyesom Wike, the FCT minister. President of the association, Dr. George Abong, in a statement by the Federal Capital Territory Administration under Wike, has met most of their demands. It was reported that the doctors had embarked on a 3-day warning strike to press on their demands. However, in an update, EMOG revealed that its members have started receiving a lot of 6 months' salary arrears. A notorious terrorist leader, Bello Turji, has expressed his willingness to surrender. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, disclosed this on a program. Musa revealed that recent military operations targeting Turji's network have significantly weakened his position. He stated that the operations led to the elimination of Turji's second-in-command and several top lieutenants, forcing him to release many hostages and consider laying down arms. You're watching the live broadcast of Midday News on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, when the news returns. $10 billion saved from subsidy removal in 2023. We shall bring you details of that report as well as business and sports after this break. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying tuned and welcome back. If you're just joining, it is Midday News on Global Television and now on Business News. Big tech company Meta has announced plans to invest up to $65 billion to strengthen its artificial intelligence infrastructure and accelerate innovation. This massive investment is part of the company's strategy to lead AI advancement, enhance its core offerings, and expand infrastructure to support groundbreaking development in the field. In a Facebook post, Meta's Chief Executive Officer, Mark Zuckerberg, outlined the company's next steps towards achieving these ambitious goals. And the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, says removing fuel subsidy had positively impacted the economy, with the federal government saving as much as $10 billion in 2023. Kalu, a member of the All Progressives Congress, APC, added that the policy led to a 22% increase in dollar remittance from the diaspora, totaling billion in 2024. Carlo disclosed this during a meeting with some investors and a group of scholars at Oxford University in London on the sidelines of his ongoing United Kingdom-Nigeria Parliamentary Strategic Dialogue walking visit to the United Kingdom. And the mandatory remittance of electricity distribution companies to the Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trading and Market Operator dropped by 156 billion naira in the first 9 months of 2024. Data from the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission have revealed. According to NERC, the financial remittances represent the cumulative upstream invoices payable by the DISCOs to NBET and MO for transmission and administrative services provided during the period under review. NERC disclosed that in the first quarter of 2024, the cumulative upstream invoice payable by DISCO stood at 114.12 billion naira. However, the power firms collectively remitted 110.62 billion naira, of which 65.52 billion naira went to NBET and 45.10 billion naira to MO, leaving an outstanding balance of 3.50 billion naira. And the federal government, through the Debt Management Office, DMO, has announced plans to raise 450 billion naira through its January 2025 bond auction. This figure surpasses the 360 billion naira offered in January 2024 and the 120 billion naira from December 2024, and is part of efforts to breach the fiscal deficit and meet financial obligations while providing investment opportunities for both institutional and individual investors. The bond auction scheduled for January 27, 2025 features a combination of reopened and newly issued bonds designed to appeal to a diverse range of investors. Oil marketers have expressed optimism about the rehabilitation of Nigeria's 21 depot by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, following the recent revival of the Port Harcourt and Warri refineries by the oil company. Although the National Oil Company has promised to get the depot running, dealers in the downstream oil sector say it is important to hasten the revamp of the facilities, as this would increase the gains of having functional refineries in Nigeria. They urged the national oil firm to take immediate and decisive steps to restore all inactive fuel depots owned by the company across the country. And now moving on to the foreign scene, Hamas is set to release 4 Israeli women soldiers held hostage since its October 7th, 2023 attack on Saturday under a truce deal in the Gaza war that is also expected to see a second group of Palestinian prisoners freed. Israel confirmed that it had received a list of names of hostages who are due to return home, though neither side has specified how many Palestinians will be released from Israeli detention if everything goes to plan. According to the Israeli Hostage and Missing Families Forum, the women due for release are Karina Arif, Daniela Gilbao, Nama Levy, and Liri Albag. The United States, the world's biggest donor, froze virtually all foreign aid, making exceptions only for emergency food and military funding for Israel and Egypt. Secretary to State Marco Rubio sent an internal memo days after President Donald Trump took office, vowing an America First policy of tightly restricting assistance overseas. The sweeping order appears to affect everything from development assistance to military aid, including to Ukraine, which received billions of dollars in weapons under Trump's predecessor, Joe Biden, as it tries to repel a Russian invasion. And the U.S. Senate narrowly confirmed former Fox News co-host Pete Hegseth as Pentagon chief, despite allegations of alcohol abuse, sexual misconduct, and other fears about his ability to lead the world's most powerful military. 3 Republican senators voted against Donald Trump's Speaker's Secretary of Defense, resulting in a 50-50 tie that required J.D. Vance to cast the deciding ballot. Only the second time in history a vice president has had to intervene to save a cabinet nominee. The razor-edged result underscored concerns about Hegseth, who will take over the Pentagon with the war raging in Ukraine, the Middle East volatile despite ceasefires in Lebanon and Gaza, and as Trump expands the military's role in security on the U.S.-Mexico border. The UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees must end operations and leave all its premises in Jerusalem by January 30th. Israel's UN ambassador says, affirming timelines set out in controversial Israeli legislation. Defying international consent, Israeli lawmakers have passed legislation that bars the agency UNRWA from operating in Israel and East Jerusalem, the sector of the city annexed by Israel following the 1967 Six-Day War. The agency has faced criticism from Israel that has escalated since the start of the war, including claims that a dozen of its 13,000 Gaza employees were involved in the deadly October 7, 2023 assault by Hamas. And now to the world of sports. Super Eagles and Galatasaray striker Victor Osimhen has found himself embroiled in controversy following an alleged altercation with a journalist in Istanbul, Turkey. According to Turkish media outlet Posta, the incident occurred as Osimhen on loan from Napoli was leaving a nightclub with friends. The said journalist, Tolga Bozduman, recounted the encounter, claiming that Osimhen reacted aggressively to being photographed. He further stated that the striker attempted to bribe him to delete the footage. Chelsea are poised to table a bid for Alejandro Garnacho after Napoli's offer for the Manchester United winger was rejected. Per Fabrizio Romano, Napoli have seen an offer worth €50 million for Garnacho rejected, and Chelsea are now readying their own offer. The Argentine winger is nearing an exit from United, and his agent was spotted at Stamford Bridge during the Blues' clash with Wolves. It now appears they will firm up their interest. And that's it on Global Television Midday News. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Start Times channel 276 and free to air on HComSat. Kindly follow us across social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. I am Amina Jibril. Thank you for watching and have a good afternoon.